What's up, everybody, and welcome to the LittleBigKast. We are 4 players searching for that elusive game-life balance. On today's show, Robin gets her neck sucked.
Giggity.
All this and more. How do you top that? I don't have anything else to
We have
add.
a special interview with X at the end of the show.
That's true.
Like, that's worth sticking around for.
That's true. Stick around for the interview with X.
We talk about guns. We talk about sucking necks and necks.
Sucking necks. What else do we talk about? Foot rubs that turn into
More
junk.
Alternative medicine.
Alternative
Lots
medicine.
Of kinky
All this
stuff.
and more on episode 119 of the LittleBigKast. Welcome. So what's up, everybody? Welcome to the LittleBigKast. This is episode 119. My name is Jeff Hawks. Thank you for joining us. With me, as always, our own Dr. Robin Hazlett.
Hi, friends.
hiding behind the spit screen. Hiding.
Hi.
And
Hey.
Master Drew Tyler.
Hey, what's up? It's good to be here, as always. That's my cheery self.
So typically we start the week, kind of every week, the show with what we've done for the last 7 days. It's actually been 2 weeks since we last met.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
My
so
fault.
A little
I
bit
feel
of a while.
Like
My
a
fault.
confession when we do that.
I know.
It's been 2
I do
weeks since
feel
our last
it
show.
has been 2
So
weeks.
sorry.
That's true. There is like a certain level of guilt
So
that
sorry
is
that we-
felt there.
yeah. They
So-
get it, though. They get it.
So there's been a few things going on. Let's quickly just go over. This is going to be kind of an abbreviated show because we started.
Truncated.
We were trying to navigate the Twitches, and it wasn't
on their
happening.
end. I just want you to know that. It was
So
on their end.
we apologize, but we're gonna wrap this up quickly this week. Do one of you guys want to go first? You want me to go? What do you want to do?
I'll go.
Go for it.
One, it has been exactly 2 weeks since my last confession. Mainly because I was down with a blinding migraine. And I think actually at the time that we were supposed to be recording last week, I was getting that little suction
You're getting your
cup.
neck sucked.
Yeah, I was getting my neck sucked.
Like,
by,
wait, like Phelps style in the Olympics?
like
Was it? Yeah.
Phelps style in
Where
the
everyone was
Olympics.
Yeah, no, that's
concerned
great.
that he was doing some kind of
Yeah.
weird
Yeah, that was pretty
tantric
funny.
thing.
That was pretty funny.
Would you describe it as a tantric event?
I would say no.
Because that's what everyone
just-
kind of
It was
assumed.
weird. I will give you. It was weird.
Did they do the fire and they put the thing up and then they turn it out and then it?
No, there was no open flame.
Oh, good.
Isn't that what they do? I
it's-
thought that's what they do. It's
They
like
just
you
heat
have
'em.
like
They
this
just heat
thing.
'em.
Yeah, but then there's like this little suction cup, and then they take a little pump at the top.
Oh,
So
you
it's
did the
fat
pump, the
free.
vacuum pump.
Yeah, and then they like do a little pump, and it's like,
So it's
oh,
like
my
back-
my
so
neck
They
feels
pump and
odd.
sucked your neck.
Yeah, it was gonna be
Yeah,
like it was
basically.
like high school days with the hickeys, right?
Basically, yeah.
I don't know. Neck hickeys are like usually they're up here, but you got them back here.
Yeah, they're like
That's kinky.
yeah, and apparently it's like a whole thing of if you bruise, that means that you have congestion in
extra
the
blood?
tissue. No,
Really?
it has nothing to do with blood. It like all on my shoulders it was fine, but my neck was just like black and blue. It was nasty. It looked like I got hit by a baseball bat apparently. But yeah, and like within 5 minutes of doing that, I was just like, "Are you magic? I
Really?
feel nothing." It was
So where-
really, really nice.
Offline, you'll have to tell me where you went because that sounds really interesting.
Really?
Yeah.
That
I'd love
sounds
to.
creepy, weird to me.
I wonder if they're like my
they're
thing is
really
like I
good.
wonder if there's something they can do for my lower back.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure. They suck on it.
Because like if you just
And
suck,
acupuncture.
suck right
Yeah.
above the butt cheeks.
That would really help.
If they could help out there, that would be.
Really help.
I have a bad back, by the way. Like that's why
just,
I'm asking.
Just don't Google the cupping like mistakes or whatever, because I did that when I watched Phelps stuff, and I was
Oh,
like,
Why
really?
did you do
Don't
that?
do that. Don't Google that because it's like
Why are you
parts of
scared?
skin falling off because it
was done too much.
It was done too much. and not too
Licensed
much,
professionals.
Yeah. Which for
It's
an alternative
yeah.
medicine,
Any
that's
kind of
interesting.
alternative medicine, you're on dangerous ground if you're
Yeah.
not going to a licensed person.
I could practice my own little alternative medicine. I'll license myself.
I've had one or
You're just gonna
two.
get a vacuum and a
Yeah.
pixie stick.
Yeah, I could do that.
I've had one or two experiences in my life where I went to some kind of like therapeutic
Like healer?
alternative
Yeah.
thing that wasn't licensed, and every time it's been either weird or has left me feeling worse than when I showed up.
Okay, see, that's, yeah,
One was really quickly. One was when Claire was pregnant, and we were. I was in the military. We were close to the base, and there are a ton of like little Asian massage parlors. And I was like, she's pregnant. She's on her feet all day. She'd probably love a foot massage because I drive past this place every day that's like foot massages for like $15.
Sure, yeah.
So like I'm thinking nothing of it. I go in there, and first of all these dudes are coming out from like behind these closed doors and leaving, but no one's coming in.
Oh dear.
And I was like, this is a little weird. That's
more than $15. I'll tell you that.
That's a little weird. So we're sitting there, and Claire sits down, and I sit down, and this lady starts like rubbing my feet and my legs, and is getting precariously close to my junk. Like I'm looking over at Claire, and she's cracking up while they're like a fingertip away from my stuff, like. And in there deep, and wow. I'm like, I look at Claire. I'm like, what do I do? Like, do I tell her to? I mean,
you slip her
what
money.
What do I do? Like, this is so. I'm so out of my element, and Claire's just sitting there, freaking laughing her butt off.
Funny.
And so we ended up, we got out of there eventually, and I was like, dude, I genuinely think had you not been there,
oh, you could have,
like, it would have been a very awkward. It would have been a very awkward conversation with this lady as far as like, hey, are we good? Are we done?
Oh, that's
like,
hilarious.
It was.
That's
yeah,
hilarious.
so I've been on the alternative medicine side. I feel you. Getting your neck sucked. That can go a lot of different ways with from my experience.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Your headache's kind of gone.
Yeah, life's a lot better. Now I just have a head cold instead of a headache.
You
So
win some, you lose some.
I'm staying very like in my own little bubble.
Yeah. Don't get too close to me.
Yeah,
I can't afford to get sick.
You know, we don't have time to be sick. I looked at my calendar. I do not have time to schedule in a sickness.
True.
At this point though, I'm ready for it. Like I would welcome like a couple of emails where I just send out and go, you know, I'm not feeling well, I'm not going to do this.
I thought about that earlier this week. I was like, I miss the days where you could just call in sick.
Right.
Or
You
like,
don't get that
I don't
anymore.
go to school, so I'm sick. Drew, hey Drew, I'm not going to make class today. I'm not feeling well.
Yeah.
Okay, no problem, dude.
The
Get better.
end.
Yeah. That doesn't work that
No,
like
you can't
business
do that.
carries on. Like,
Moms don't get sick days.
Yeah. Sick days mean you work at home.
Yep.
That's what it means.
Still work.
Just means that you get really comfy with that Lysol spray.
What about you, Drew?
I haven't done much for 2 weeks. I haven't even touched Final Fantasy as much as I wanted to. I know, right? It's painful. I have not touched as much as I wanted to. I don't think I've even played more than like going fishing one night.
You know what's really bad is
Um,
I just turn it on and I listen to the music.
But I tell you what. Oh, see, now that is really bad.
That's funny.
It's great music. I will tell you what I've been doing though is I have spent several of my nights. I've cuddled up on the couch and watched a movie. Like we
Nice.
watched Rush Hour last night. It was just
That's a great
fun,
one.
Valentine's one, and it was good. It's funny because my girls are learning Chinese, and so like they, a lot of it happens with the Chinese. They speak Chinese, and I recognize so much more now watching it. You know, shisha.
That's the only stuff. That's
It was fun.
Rush Hour is the only Chinese that I know.
Oh,
Shishi ni nehame. That's what freaking what's his face. I don't know what it means, but that's what Chris Tucker says.
Yeah, it's exactly the very end. So it was fun to watch it, and so every couple of minutes we turn to each other and be like, I bet the girls would like to hear this, and then they'd break out with some horrible swear words, you
Yeah.
know, and then chasing people. And
Earmuffs.
Yeah, and then it'd be like, okay, we can't show the kids. But anyway, that's kind of fun. But really, I have really tried to buckle down the last couple of weeks, play with kids more, just be dad more, and it's working out. It's well. I'll
Good.
put the gaming back in before I put in more work, but it's good. Life's
Good.
That's it.
Very cool. I spent Valentine's Day night. My date was with a friend at John Wick 2.
Oh, really? And
Yeah.
and your wife was cool.
We've
with that.
never been a Valentine's Day
Okay.
couple. Like
No, and
So first of all, like, go ahead. No, go ahead.
like with Valentine's Day, it's the day that you are required to say I love you. And
Yes, they're
so
doing it
everything
wrong.
that you do on Valentine's Day means less because you know that you have to like you are
I'm gonna
required to
disagree
do
on that one.
Oh, okay.
Just because I do agree. At some level that happens. It does. I felt like this year I wanted to, because usually it's like end of the day and it's like, oh, I'm so sorry I didn't, because there was an expectation I didn't do anything. So this year I made it an excuse to spend money and to do something that was like, she can't, you know what I mean? Like nobody can get mad at you for spending money on Valentine's Day.
Right.
So I went out with roses and jewelry. Like I never
Nice.
do that. It's like never my method, but it was one of those like, I'm going to justify it.
That's
and,
awesome.
And make it work for me instead of guilt me, right? So I did it. And it
See,
was-
and
it was awesome.
I don't have any problem at all with people celebrating Valentine's Day. My thing was, and maybe this is more just me, kind of like our own like kind of idiosyncrasies between me and Claire, is like we're not interested in battling in line for a good restaurant.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
right,
exactly
yeah.
where I'm coming from because that's not
Because
fun.
for Claire and I, we aren't really gift givers and getters either. The way that we show that we care about each other is like on her end, she makes really delicious food.
Yes.
Like she loves
Oh,
to cook for people she cares about. And so every day that we go, every day that I come home, she has made something that
Right. Yeah.
to me, I'm like, wow, this shows that she like we both have this like really kind of intimate relationship with food. Which sounds weird, but like
no, but I get
No,
it. I
no,
get it.
I'm-
but
Yeah.
like when we're stressed out, like food is a calming, like neutralizing
It's also
thing
a
for us.
sensory.
So like Hanamaru,
Yeah.
we've all been to Hanamaru.
Yep.
I can tell you very truthfully that there have been times where like I have been like on the verge of like a legitimate like anxiety attack where like I can feel my heart rate has elevated. I'm like feeling my like weight on my chest.
Yep.
And Claire's like, let's just go to Hanamaru. We'll find someone to watch the kids. Go to Hanamaru, and for an hour, like
Fix it.
that food. Like
Yeah.
there's something about like the udon noodles there that like it's just clean and light, and I can go there and I can eat that, and I feel like all of my crap just goes away. And so
It gives you
for
something
us,
sensory to
right.
focus on.
for us, for Valentine's Day, we have never been roses, chocolates, gifts,
Right.
whatever.
Right.
We are like, we want to go out and just eat somewhere nice. So what we have kind of adopted over the years is the weekend after.
Oh, that
So
works.
we have a babysitter coming Friday. I'll skip out of work a little bit early, and we're just going to go eat somewhere nice. And in fact, we're going to go eat. There's a new sushi restaurant on Harrison Boulevard.
It's good. I actually went there
So
last weekend.
that
for
is
Valentine's.
owned by the same people that own the Osaka Sushi in Layton.
Oh, I did not know
So
that.
Osaka in
Are
Layton
you talking about
is
Toto's?
yeah,
Sushi? it's
Sushi
good.
Toto.
Sushi
So
Toto's good.
Osaka is kind of considered the best straight sushi
Mm-hmm.
in northern Utah. Like as far as just straight, I think they're better than what on 25th.
Don't say it. Don't say it. They're pretty great.
They're great. They're good.
But they have more. It's not straight.
I think that Osaka has better sushi than they do. Their dessert, however, what am I thinking of? It's Tona.
It's Tona.
Tona's dessert, the peanut butter like
I've never
cream.
gotten it. Yeah, I've never gotten that one.
Oh my gosh, it's the best dessert I've maybe ever had at a restaurant. It's
I had-
phenomenal.
So Sushi Toto's, they had toast.
Toto.
That sounds like a dog in a small
Yeah.
child's play. But the dessert we had was brulee bananas. Amazing.
They should have called it Osaka too.
You know, but the fact that it's like 4 blocks from my house.
Yeah,
All right, I'll be going.
I can tell you that there are a couple rolls that if you jump into, you'll be like, Jeff's right.
Yeah, the ones we had were
It's
fantastic.
very good.
They had a black magic or something. No, yeah, they had a couple that were just.
It's
yeah.
very, very good.
Tell me what you get.
Tona's good.
Tell me what you
Tona is a little more expensive. I don't know. They're very comparable. Osaka also, however, Osaka and Layton and Toto will probably adopt this later. Is that they have half off Tuesdays, which also ramps them up a notch
Man,
because all of their food
you
is
let
half
me know
off.
if you see that, I'm sure I drive by there all the time.
That said, I don't know how we went down that path. All I wanted to
tasty
say was
food is love.
I went to John Wick Chapter 2
Yes.
for Valentine's Day with a friend.
It was a dude date.
It was amazing.
Yes.
That movie. So I don't know if you've seen John Wick 1.
I'm not a witch.
John Wick 1 is one of the very best action movies of the last 10 years. It is phenomenal. If you just want a straight action film, it's got violence, it's got swearing. Other
got all
than
this
that,
stuff.
Yeah.
other than that, like there's no nudity. But I mean, real like
I guess the only way that
real
I
like
get is to mix it in with the violence.
real like
Wait, no, that sounded bad.
I mean, real violence. Like the way
You know what I
that
meant?
I know.
and this is what I'd say too is like John Wick. Keanu Reeves
That scares me.
has driven home like this appreciation for really masterful,
They call it
like-
gun fu, right? Like what he does with his like.
kind of, but it's not silly though. Like the way that he uses firearms in this is like truly
It's like
like it's
ballet?
masterful.
Yeah.
No, it's very good, but very, very grounded in reality. Like, and what they do in this movie, even more than the first, that I really appreciated, is they show off, and they kind of highlight how good he is at just handling a firearm. So like, every time he
Interesting.
shoots, every time he reloads, it's precision. Like it's perfect. And so this is like I'm a firearm
Right,
enthusiast.
right, yeah.
I enjoy shooting. I've gone through several courses. I was an expert marksman in the military. Like I know how to fire and handle a firearm, right? Like I feel comfortable in that world. Keanu Reeves is truly like, I mean, you want to call him like a
Surprises
black belt in gunplay.
No, no.
He truly is phenomenal, and that really comes through, especially in John Wick 2. And what's fun is my dad has got this really kind of fancy shotgun. It's called a Benelli M4.
Sounds
it's
fancy.
It's a shotgun. It's a 12 gauge shotgun that looks like an M4 assault rifle, and it's a semi-automatic shotgun, so it'll shoot 8 rounds as fast as you can pull the trigger. And in John Wick 2, he goes to this hotel where assassins are kind of like, you have the safe zone. If you're in the hotel, there's no work done in the hotel, so no one hurts each other. No one hunts each other. In the hotel is a safe zone, and he goes in there and he asks to see. What's the word for it? A sommelier? The wine tasters, the guys that you can discuss the flavors of a wine. And they're like, yeah, he's in. Just go down the hallway and you'll see him. And the sommelier is Peter Serafinowicz, the actor from Shaun of the Dead, who's the roommate. Very funny guy. And John Wick goes in and he's like, I'm looking for something robust, something impactful and dramatic. And he's like, I've got just the piece for you, John Wick. And he brings out, he's like, this is the Benelli M4 shotgun.
Oh my goodness, that's adorable.
And he walks in, he's like, precision Italian made. And I'm just like, I've shot this freaking gun.
That's so
the Benelli
fantastic.
is like the sexiest shotgun in the world to shoot. Like, I mean, the sights on it look like you're shooting an assault rifle, and it's a freaking shotgun. And it's just like the most beautiful firearm you've ever seen.
I haven't seen
anyway,
that
this has
many.
nothing to do with video games, but
No,
like
but it
the
sounds
way that
weird.
the movie represents it and the way that John Wick uses this firearm in the film, if I hadn't shot this weapon in the past, I'd be like, this is bullshit. Because he shoots it like a semi-automatic. I mean, it's shot like an AR-15 or an M4. Like, and the way that he reloads it, everything he does, so he like carries an extra round on the outside of the forward grip, and as he shoots it, he reloads a last round on the fly, like as he's moving forward, which is something incredibly difficult to do. But Keanu is like legitimately a master.
This is the hardest thing for me with the John Wick, is because all I can think of as Keanu is Matrix and Speed and Bill and Ted, like the poor actor Keanu. Like he only has one acting space, and so
Let me show. I'm going to show you this. Can we share the screen?
Yeah,
I'm going to show you a YouTube video of Keanu Reeves going through.
Oh, I've seen it.
I saw
I've
that
seen
one
it.
too.
But
It's-
still, it's like the act. Maybe that's why. Is because the acting is different. Go ahead and blow
This
up
is
my
how-
full screen.
But
So-
that's called talent.
Maybe
That's
what
called
it
being
is.
a
Maybe that's
dynamic
what it is.
actor.
Yep. I don't
This
know if we'll
is
hear it. Yeah. So I watched this. This is just legit like gunplay, right?
Yeah.
Look at all the shells.
That's the Benelli M4.
Yeah. Oh, that is sexy. I mean, I'm not a gun
That's
guy, but I
hot.
hold
And you
that
can
with two
see.
hands.
So watch this. Watch how he fixes. So this better than anything else shows you how good he is with a gun. If you watch, the weapon jams here, and he clears the jam with one hand without taking his face away from firing position. So watch this. Okay, so we're gonna go back. Right here. Watch. There.
Oh.
That shows a level of like mastery that is not
Doesn't
the
even
norm.
faze him.
Impressive.
It's amazing. So if you're into action films at all, man, John Wick 2 is a masterpiece. It is very, very well
I think
done.
that's what I wanted from Rush Hour. Like, we wanted
I
some,
know.
some fun, like some Jackie
mess
Chan
around.
flavor. So I don't think my wife would enjoy the John Wicking, but I think it could be cool.
It's phenomenal. You should see
Yeah.
it.
All right, I might just go see it. Is that your week?
That's no.
that all? What
One
else did you- what did you
one
do?
more. I've officially suffered for. So this is gonna sound like a humble brag, but it's meant more. It's meant more as like a. It's been a surprise to me. So, Titanfall 2 has skill-based matchmaking, and for the last like 3 months, I have kind of felt like it's been easy mode. I mean, like
In the
to
matchmaking part of things?
So
Yeah.
when I go in and play, like my scores per match have been anywhere from like 20 kills a game to over 25 kills a game. That's been kind of where I've been hanging. I've done very, very well over the last couple, especially in the last like 3 or 4 weeks. I've just really had a huge improvement as I've gotten used to those paddles.
Oh right. Mhm.
And the last week, I've been lucky to get 15 kills, and I think it's because the skill-based matchmaking has caught up to me, and it has thrown me in with a group that
Actually
is very good, and it has become infinitely more difficult. Like
I'd like to believe that.
every match has become like a sweaty fest. Like everyone's just like
I could use.
Gosh
this
dang it!
playtest
Get me!
in my
Don't
life.
forget that. Like, it's become really, really tough, and so skill-based matchmaking is real.
I'm gonna have to go and try. I played Titanfall a little bit last week. I did. I got back into it. I wanted to do a little bit more. I had to remind myself all the controls, but I would like to see this because maybe I'd actually get some kills with the skill-based style, right? Because I would be afraid that I'd be on the other end where I'd die 20 times every time, and then they'd be like lower me down to a point where it was like, hey, you play with these 4-year-olds, and then I could do it.
Yeah,
it'd be fine.
Still fun.
Yeah. If they'll put me into a rack with some people, yeah, I could do
It's definitely gotten a much harder though, and it's good. Like, it's pushing me, but it's frustrating.
That's the
But
fact
that's
that you
my week.
spent like a total of 8 hours on the on that trial
Yeah,
to get
on
that
the
bronze
gauntlet.
medal on the gauntlet. Like, it's good frustration for you. Then it's probably good to play with some variety.
Nope, good.
At least
It's
some
good.
variety. Good. All right. News number 1, and this one, of course, is a big one for Jeff. You love this idea.
Yeah.
News number 1, Destiny number 2, still coming this year. Like, it is on its way. Nothing has happened. It's going to be here. What are your thoughts?
So obviously this is good news if you're a Destiny fan. There's some speculation that this could be problematic. So this came from the reason that this is in the news right now is that Activision had an earnings call.
Oh, okay, right.
And there was a slide in their earnings call, and I'm going to pull it up here. This is what the slide looked like. I took a screenshot of it.
Go live.
So the title of the slide was Providing Opportunities for Player Investment, and under Destiny, full Destiny sequel in 2017 to broaden the franchise's global reach, which along to follow-on content plans set the stage for growth. So the fear with this was that, and this is something that X brought up, which, by the way, we have an interview with X that we need to put into the show somewhere. Maybe
Perfect.
that can be our
kicker right.
convo today,
Yeah,
our
I like
topic. But X brought up the point. He's like, if they're this heavily tying Destiny 2 to this year, what he's afraid of is that they launch a broken game.
Because it's so determined to get it out.
And so a Forbes editor actually wrote a similar, basically an op-ed piece that was similar in voice to what X said, and basically said that there had been a leak that Kotaku had gotten that essentially said that if Bungie did not have the game out this year, that they would have to forfeit over stock to Activision. That there would be...
But-
that just worrisome is what that is. You put that kind of leverage on the table and you will ship something broken.
Activision just like they did their quarterly review and they're up. But did you guys see that Activision just cut a ton of jobs right after that? It's like, oh, look, all the money that we've earned, and now
I didn't see that.
Slash jobs.
they did a hack and slash job.
Wow.
That is ooh. That's
Do you know
concerning.
Do you know what?
Like divisions or where?
I don't know which divisions. I just
But I get your pain though, because if you have some
Right,
sort of
'cause-
leverage where you're like you've got to ship that and your stock options or whatever are tied into that, that's
your
messy,
life.
right? Yeah.
Like
I mean,
I sense
worry.
disaster.
That makes me worried.
I will forever be I will always be the downer when it comes to this kind of
been
stuff. I'm
burned.
so sorry.
Burned too many times.
Well, so that's 2013. That's August. This is the most recent. I was looking for a number. Yeah, 200 people. It's a lot of people.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
That's a solid cut.
Yeah. Oh wow. Okay. But the good news is that Destiny 2 is going to be coming.
Yep.
We're hopeful that it comes in, so they get their stock options, but they ship like the full finished game. Finished game. Like, it's good game.
And the reason that I think that probably will be the case, like I'm not doom and gloom yet. The reason I think that will probably be the case is that Destiny 2 was supposed to launch last year.
True.
It was supposed to launch September of 2016, and so I'm hoping what we're getting here is like a Fallout situation where at E3 they were like, "Hey, by the way, Fallout's coming. Like, get ready for Fallout in the fall."
Yeah.
And everyone lost their minds and was super stoked. I think that's what we're going to see here with Destiny 2. We'll probably see if they build it in a new engine, we'll probably even see an alpha in the coming months. with a beta soon after that. So it'll be interesting. I'm excited to see what happens.
I think there's hope. There's hope. You can be doom and gloom. Jeff has got the hope covered.
I do.
All right. Let's go. News number 2. Activision confirms SHG developing Call of Duty 2017. It's going to take Call of Duty back to the roots with traditional combat. SHG being... you have it up, right? Sledgehammer?
Yep.
So... I know. It's kind of like Call of Duty is a huge news thing. None of us played that one.
To me, this is...
Are you excited that this one's going back?
I'm not excited.
No,
it's whatever. But I think the reason that this is important is that I think Call of Duty Infinite Warfare bombed.
Yes. Okay.
By all accounts, it was not as well received as historically a Call of Duty franchise piece has been received. And what's a shame, really more than anything else, again, is that game took away from a really, really polished FPS in Titanfall 2. It still boggles my mind that they were released back to back with Battlefield 1, and that a game that really, I mean, Titanfall 2 deserves to shine. Like it is truly a feat.
I haven't played anything as smooth as Titanfall 2. Like in the mechanics and the movings and everything. Like it is amazing.
It is a perfect first person shooter.
Yeah.
For what it attempts to do, it utterly nails it. And so yeah, I mean this is news. Just I think more. This is a more newsworthy topic just for the sake of saying like this kind of confirms that Infinite Warfare kind of was in their eyes a failure because it didn't resonate with players the way that they wanted it to.
I think that's a fair way to go. All right, let's go. News number 3. Are you ready for this one?
Are you ready for this? Da 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 da. Okay, sorry.
Thank you. That was fantastic.
I couldn't resist.
HZD embargo lift on 2/20, 9 a.m. Central. That is like merely a couple of days away. The embargo meaning we're going to see a whole lot more content coming out.
Is that
from
Monday
developers.
Then? Is it the review embargo or like
it's
all
5 days
content?
now, right?
Review
All
embargo.
content?
So then we'll start seeing, and then it launches 23rd?
28th.
28th. So then we
So
got 8
this
days
is
to make your
again,
mind.
to me, this is again a great indication of a game
I think they
that
feel good
Right.
about it.
They'll be confident about it because they're giving people enough time to cancel any pre-order that they have.
yeah. So
Instead of lifting the embargo.
and we've talked about this a ton. Like any company that says a week out, here are the reviews. They're confident that they've got a winner, and
Yep.
so this is just another example of a PlayStation exclusive that really is poised to just take the world by storm. So I'm very excited.
I like that. I'm excited too. I liked it a lot. In here we're gonna end this on a sad note. Our last news of this short day, is that some rejects stole a bolted down PlayStation from a children's cancer ward down in New Zealand. Right? Like this is just like unbelievable.
I wonder what the reaction is of this because you know that somebody has gone and donated.
Oh, I
at
hope
least
Yeah, I've
the
got
PS4 back
that
again.
news up
All right,
here.
check it
So
out.
Yeah.
gamers donate in droves after thieves steal PS4 from cancer ward. So it doesn't
Because
have
we're
to end,
nice people. We're
doesn't
nice
have to end
people.
on a sad note, but
Good. But anyway, just who
steals from a cancer
from a
kid?
cancer court, right?
Seriously, bolted
down?
down. That's effort.
Why do you have to bolt down anything in a cancer ward?
Yeah.
Like
Right.
people are going to come
Don't
take the
be
good
a
stuff.
dick.
Yeah, that's rule number 1.
So yeah, I was looking for a number. I love too the way that they write this, but then some arsehole, ARSEHOLE, arsehole came along, unscrewed the PS4 and nicked it from the oncology ward.
Nicked it.
What an arsehole. But that's seriously like that's on a Kotaku. It's the kotaku.com/.au. But they spelled out arsehole.
And down there, apparently that's what they just decided.
That's precious.
You go Southeast Asia and asshole becomes arsehole. Maybe that's it. Also down there, hell and damn are not swear words. I was told that on the mission, so I swear a lot.
So over the
like
last
it.
said that, and I was like, okay.
over the last
run with
few
it.
days, 12 consoles, 15 games, along with just under $4,700 have been donated to the hospital
Brilliant.
and its
Right.
charity ward or its cancer ward. So very cool.
Yeah, I think we'd expect that.
So going with this idea of donating, I'm going to like tack on one. It isn't specifically Sony related, but this is really cool. If you don't know about Humble Bundles, you should know about Humble Bundles, because this is the reason why my Steam backlog is just
Humble Bundle gets it every time, right?
An abomination at this point. But so Humble Bundle released the Humble Freedom Bundle, I think 2 days ago, and their like kind of top goal was in like the 300,000 area.
Right, and the whole point of the Freedom Bundle, I think, was to share donations with the ACLU, right?
ACLU, Doctors Without Borders.
And they usually do that. They tie with somebody.
They do.
Or it's
There's
always
an actual
been like
charitable.
Choose what you want to pay for these couple of games and decide how much goes to developers, how much goes to them. Like it's a wonderful system for like negotiating your own price and feeling good about what you get.
Yeah.
So they were aiming for 300,000.
Yeah, and they are up to 4,300,000, so on and so forth. Keep on going with numbers.
It's one of the biggest bundles I've ever seen when it comes to like the game
and
content.
They are really good quality, and there's also like audiobooks from Cory Doctorow, Neil Gaiman, the whole nine. And they're solid in the first place, and none of the developers are getting any of the profits. They have outright donated all of whatever this profit is going to be to those three organizations.
That's amazing.
So I was just like, oh my gosh, there is beauty in the world.
If you need more in your Steam catalog, this is a fantastic donate to this one. The Humble Bundles have been fantastic.
It's like a bajillion.
Yeah, we've talked about a lot of the games that are on there right now. So good way to wrap up the
one last thing that we didn't mention. Sorry.
Wrap up the news.
Can I add one more thing?
We always add one more.
So E3 has officially opened its doors to the public for 2017.
True. That's true.
I think the tickets, if you buy them the day they open, which is like March 8th, I believe.
I don't remember the date.
It's like $160 for a ticket.
How many for the full?
It's like a full run.
3 days.
Yeah.
Can't remember how many days they run. I was always there a day before and a day after.
Yep, me too.
So
cool.
It'd be cool to go if you want to go. I would imagine E3 is tremendous in its own right because they have the events, and so I don't know how much of those are included, but like Sony will have their own huge press event,
right.
And then
I don't think you're invited to the press conferences.
Right, they have huge press conferences, and then the show floor. It is amazing, like the different wings of the convention center are just these massive rooms where they basically build entire cities. Like you can walk in and people are they have their own HVAC system for like the different demo units. You stand in long lines if you want to try the coolest things. So anything like when they did way back when I was there was things for like Star Wars Battlefront and some others. So you'd stand in a long line and wait for it. They're unveiling some of the Unreal Engine and showing some of those demos. So you just have to wait for them. But there is enough to see and do, like, walking through things and being around the different parts, that even if you didn't stand in line all day, you would still get your hands on some pretty cool stuff. Every booth had just rows and rows of machines that you could play things that, indie games.
Right.
They had a whole indie section.
No, it's amazing.
It's worth going. It's worth for sure.
And I'll say this too. I'm glad that they did it. I've seen a lot of journalists kind of kick back at it and be like, dude, it's hard enough for us to get the coverage we need.
Yeah.
With the way that it's structured now. The reality, though, is that E3, as it sits today, is like a dying breed.
Yeah.
We've watched kind of studio after studio pull out and not involve themselves. And by including the public, first of all, it makes the show more valuable because you're going to have another 10,000 people showing up at the show and paying, $200 a pop to be able to go.
Yep, that makes sense. Business-wise.
It changes it from an industry-only event to honestly kind of more of what PlayStation Experience has done, and where it's a community event and it's about coming together of players and the people who make their games. And quite frankly, like if you don't get that, if you don't get why that's important, like I think you're missing the bigger picture, because there is value in connecting with the user. Like E3 shouldn't be, in my mind, because I've been on both sides now. Like I've been there as part of the industry where I was trying to find and work with people to get work done.
Right. Yeah.
And while I was there, I also, like, as a fan of gaming, I was like, man, this would be sweet to be able to participate in. But that is why the PlayStation Experience has been so huge and has done so incredibly well.
Very well.
And so if you're frustrated with it, just realize like E3 would go away if they didn't change some stuff up.
Yeah.
And so
You're
this
right.
is a way for them to keep new
Being
life
relevant.
and being relevant. Yeah, absolutely.
It would be a big mess of people, lots of sweaty big bodies that are big and sweaty. Like and
I'll
it gets
just go
hot
in there with Febreze.
yeah. But
and free energy drinks.
there's a lot of swag. There's a lot of swag. Like the after parties and other things. Those are kind of the fun things that I miss. It might be worth looking into. This one or PlayStation Experience. I think as a team it'd be fun to get
We should.
get ourselves there.
Let's look into it.
We probably ought to start wearing lower cut shirts and twitching more often if we want to go there. You said you saw somebody get a Twitch donation of $8,200 today, right?
The
Please,
boobs were hanging out,
right
but yeah.
now, donate $8,200. We'd like to go to the PlayStation Experience.
We'd like to
Please.
one up.
Also, I want to do this
person.
button for you.
Work
Perfect.
it.
Please send us money. Was that too much?
That was
too
a little
much?
desperate, Drew.
I'm
Just
not-
a
not-
little
not even
desperate.
ashamed. Not even ashamed anymore. Please. No.
Yeah, also, great point.
awesome.
X, we have an LBK Discord channel.
Yes.
Thank
Yes.
you,
Good reminder.
X.
Thank you.
That's why X is in charge of it. Yeah, join us there. Be part of the group. It's awesome. We have a number of different Discord channels set up for different games.
Including
Feel free if
Drew's
there's-
Candy.
Yeah, we have a candy review
just for
channel.
my candy. It's true. That's true.
He's not as active in it. He doesn't share as much as he eats, but he's getting there.
Right.
He has
I
a
need to
share
do like
period.
a weekly update of like here's my chronological like what I've eaten this week. So maybe I need to just do that more often. But no, it's a fun place to go because I think that the chat like having threaded on games is really kind of a fun thing to follow so that we all have our different opinions and excitements and things that are coming, and especially as HCD comes out in a week, 2 weeks now. Less than 2 weeks, and then Andromeda's coming out shortly a month after, 3 weeks after that. Like it's coming, so the chat is fun to be a part of that. So if you're listening, if you're an avid listener, then we'll have the link to our Discord server in our on our page, LittleBigKast.com, and we'll share it through some other places. But
Yep.
come join us for sure.
It's a way to stay connected throughout the week as well.
Yeah.
You know, there are times, obviously, like last week, where we can't make every show.
We can let you know.
We can let you know there, but also like be involved in the conversation. Feel free to jump in,
Yeah.
be part of that group.
We're not
We're happy to have you.
scary.
Yep.
New games this week. There's only one worth getting into, right? For Honor's out. Sorry,
For which one?
I just know we had to wrap
For
up fast.
Honor.
Oh,
For Honor,
Neo
yeah.
too. Neo,
yes,
obviously.
yeah,
Neo
Neo.
and For Honor are the ones worth
Yeah.
talking about.
Jimmy would
The
kill
other
me if I
ones
didn't
would
mention
be-
Neo.
Yeah, I'm saying the other ones are Bridge Constructor and Fly Wrench and I.O. Monster Loves You, and MX Nitro, Ride 2. Like, none of these are reminding me of anything. But I did see some new Ni no Kuni 2 like gameplay footage. I shared that, I think, and I don't know if I shared it in Discord, but I shared that on Facebook.
Yep.
But that's still, like, even though it's dateless, that one's still on my radar. When we talk about new releases, I'm always thinking, that'll be a great, like, maybe I'll get a vasectomy that weekend.
Yeah.
And I'll just sit back for a couple of days. And
That's
that
what I
will-
need to do for Mass
Right?
Effect. You know what?
Yeah. It's
I'm gonna
it's
do
the
it.
same time
You
as like the
too.
March tourney.
Yeah.
You-
So you just like people go watch baseball or basketball and they sit back and recuperate.
Do they
you
have,
and I
like-
want to play games.
Do they have like a 2-for-1?
I know,
kind of
I was
thing?
gonna
Like
say, you and I-
like buy
I'd-
one get one half off.
I'd get a lazy boy right next to you and we could just play games for 2 days.
Just lay us out on a couple's massage table.
Yeah, take care of business.
Snip the vas deferens. We'll be moving on. Perfect.
Fantastic.
Perfect.
I am not covering your classes, sir.
I need somebody to cover my classes.
Anyway,
Just-
as we mentioned, if you haven't joined Discord, do it. It's fun. It's a great way to stay in contact. Master Dugong, I don't know how you're not in there yet. I don't think I've seen you in there. You should be in there.
You should be in there.
It's a place for friends. In fact, today, let's see who's. Oh, that was me that put that there.
Somebody else is chatting. In
Oh, it's because I was already in there. There we go.
Pop it up. I'll show the screenshot because I think it's a really. I like the interface.
I love the UI.
I think it's a fine place to look at that and just see all the different channels that we have. You can see what's been updated and what's been fresh, where the chat's happening.
And
What's
it's
nice
and
is
it's
you can
where
jump in a
ultimately
couple days.
right. And what's cool too is it's ultimately where we're going to start doing as we reach out and start doing interviews and reaching out to you, our listeners, for more information on what you do and how you play and what kind of gaming means in your life. You know, very similar to what X did with Glenn. We're going to be able to reach out through voice channels. So what's really cool about this is not only do we have text channels that we can go through, so we have a Destiny channel, we have a Candy Review channel, we have a Final Fantasy channel. We also have voice channels, so we can go in here and like if everybody wanted to jump on a call at the exact same time and just chat and say what's up and talk and hang out, We could totally do that.
Have you chatted with somebody on there?
X, yeah.
With X?
Yeah,
So I
X
wonder
and I
if
did
that
it.
would be an interesting way that we could pull in for a whole new segment where we just pull the audio straight out, just do a voice chat.
Yeah, we could
through
totally do
Discord
that.
and we pipe it through this, and it's like
We could totally do that. I
like
think that would be awesome.
game show style.
So really great opportunities there. So yeah, join Discord if you haven't done that yet. We want you there. We want you to be a part of it.
Yes,
so please join us. And that, ladies and gentlemen, has been episode 119 of the Little Big Cast. It's a lot of episodes. 119.
No, it's impressive.
The big
3 years.
120.
3 years, by the way.
Yep.
We just hit our 3-year anniversary from the day that we conceived the name, which was February 11th of 2014.
Which I gotta say, I still love the name Little
I do
Big
too.
Cast.
I
think
do
it's
too.
clever. I think it was well conceived. I like it.
I like
It's
it
been
a
a
lot.
pleasure. 3 years is a long time.
Yeah, it is. Yep. It's been
Anyway.
Just adopted it.
Right now, you're going to see a cut to an interview that Glenn ran with X, and
On site.
on site in the Outback,
in the Outback. He joined up.
in the wild lands of the Outback.
Yep.
Unfortunately, X did not bring a Bowie knife and say, "This is a knife. That's not a knife. This is a knife." We'll toss it to Glenn and X.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Little Big Cast. This little section we've organized today is called Ask X. X is one of our most knowledgeable gamers that plays all the time, mostly Destiny with Jeff.
Although I'm playing more now.
Oh yeah,
It's not just Destiny.
I said mostly.
Mostly.
So we've got him together. I flew down to Sydney for the Rooster Teeth Conference RTX, and then we just decided to meet up here. So we're going to ask a few questions of X. He can tell us a little bit about himself, and you guys can meet the man behind the voice that we've all heard. So welcome aboard, X. Thanks for
Thank you.
joining us at LBK.
Thank you very much for having me, Glenn.
No problem.
Finally, the face to the name.
Yeah. Apparently I have a very thick accent in real life.
Only in person, though. That's
Only
why I
in
say
person.
Online, you don't notice it as much. Maybe it's just the...
Well, I try not to
Impression.
sound like a ignorant American. But
no, that's your leader at the moment.
So I guess everybody's saying, besides Destiny, what games do you like to play?
Well, mainly, I started basically with the GTA was my first real new console game. So prior to the PS3, it would have been Final Fantasy VII. So really, yeah, online gaming on the console space, it would have been GTA 4.
Oh yeah.
And then GTA 5, and then from there I branched into Destiny, Division, and I'm just accumulating games. Far Cry, you name it, I more or less play it. I do have some exceptions, like some of the fantasy style Skyrim style games, they kind of irk me a little. But when they're designed well, which I realise Skyrim is, I do tend to play them. So
I really like Skyrim.
yeah. I think the main problem for me is that I recognise the gambling reward style gameplay. I recognise how it works. So to me that attracts me. So Skyrim, for instance, isn't a game that I see as tickling that niche, as it were. But there's a lot of games.
One of the questions we have is, when did you first start gaming? Have you been doing it your whole life?
As a kid, or
I don't know. That's the question.
if we're going as a kid, I'm 42, 43. I'm looking at you because you're the mathematician, not me.
Unknown. It's unknown.
Yeah, I'm early 40s. So as far as gaming on computers go, I started in the late 80s with an Amstrad PC 1512 XT computer. Basically, and from there, spent most of my time on Nintendo, so Super Nintendo and all the rest of them.
Yeah.
And then slowly onto the PS2 with Final Fantasy VII, but in the early 2000s, so actually around 99, 2000, which is when Dynamics released Star Siege Tribes.
Is that the one where it was like a first-person shooter, run around and shoot people with like flying discs and stuff?
Exactly the one.
I remember playing Tribes.
So Star Siege Tribes was my first real serious online game, and we used to have a little group of people that would get together and log our PCs in the cars and all get together in a LAN party, and we'd argue over who had the Switch and who had the hub, and
Either that or Counter-Strike at that time, right?
Exactly, no.
Yeah.
But we were more into the strategy games at that point, so there was a lot of, StarCraft, a lot of early core,
June was big then too, wasn't it?
June 2000 and June, yep. So as Tribes, another great one that we had was Total Annihilation. That would have been the one that we spent the longest hours playing. So, Total Annihilation was a top-down isometric robot game where it was the first serious resource game. So you basically go and mine resources and then you build nukes and you do all that sort of thing. But early in the piece, I was one of the people that discovered a bug in the game, which they never fixed, is an overranging bug. So there was these big weapons that took a long time to build, and they were basically a pinwheel, and they'd just sit there and go bang, 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 and anything that came close they'd destroy. But I worked out a way to actually overrange them. So on these huge maps where normally you've got to send your troops to your enemy, I would sit there with my cannons and I would actually overrange them, so they'd actually hit their base from across the map, and no one could sort of... Yeah, people didn't like me when I did that. I got banned from using them in the end. So, yeah.
Shame on you. What's our next question? What's your favorite, most memorable gaming experience?
Honestly, it's not that hard. It's playing with you guys on Destiny. It really is. Prior to that, I mean, again, like I was talking about Total Annihilation and Tribes there, that was a long time ago in the PC days, and while that was fun, I don't think we developed the same camaraderie that we did in our group that we play. So basically we'd get together once a month and play games, but outside of that, we never stayed in contact.
I feel like the co-op of Destiny has lent itself more to camaraderie than like the Call of Duty type games where just run around shooting each other.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. What game are you most looking forward to in 2017 and why?
That's easy. Everyone should know this. It's Horizon Zero Dawn at the moment.
Yeah.
It's
ready to go.
That is ticking all my boxes. I'm seeing Far Cry. I'm seeing so many different games in it that I love playing. Destiny, there's a little bit of a Destiny element, and certainly not as much as Destiny, but especially the Division.
Mm-hmm.
But Horizon Zero Dawn is going to have loot crates in the same way that Division has loot crates, or Call of Duty has loot crates and other games, but certainly got no unique identifying things. But as far as looking at all the games available today that people play and going, this is working in this game, this is working in this game, this is working in this game, they're pulling all those out and put it into Horizon Zero Dawn. So for me, unless there's a significant game-breaking bug where it's just totally annoying to play, I'd see myself playing that quite a bit.
Yeah, I think it'll be a great game. I'm excited for it.
In all honesty, I was saying to Jeff earlier that if I had my way, and my wife's not listening right now, I'd be buying a PlayStation Pro, because the new TV that I've just got, I've watched some HDR 4K footage of Horizon Zero Dawn on that via YouTube. I'm totally speechless. It is absolutely like nothing I've ever seen before. So impressive.
Great. Speaking of your new fancy TV and Nadine suffering through, how is the OLED? Was it worth the price? And have you had any latency issues with the game?
Haven't played any games on it yet.
Oh, okay.
The model that I've got, which is the B6, does have a known latency issue. So it is known to be 63 milliseconds, which does make the whole move the control and the screen follows you routine. It is noticeable. So it's 1 frame per second, which, as you know, is noticeable enough. But as far as a screen, and I am the biggest hypocrite in the world, and I'm the first person to put my hand up and say I'm really sorry to everyone that I've spoken to about OLED when I was, sorry, excuse my language, when I was giving it a bad name. I don't care. It's honestly,
amazing, huh?
it really is amazing. It is something that is impossible to describe to people because the depth of black is really up there with the highest of high-end plasma displays. Is really the only comparison, and they're being phased out anyway. So who cares?
One question that Jess just sent across is, what do you expect to see, or what are your hopes for in Destiny 2?
I was actually thinking about this, and for me, I think it's Ghost 4, the Grimoire card Ghost 4, which shows the ghost floating in space, and the ships all warp in, wait a second, and some of the ships warp out, and others stay behind, and it's basically they're fleeing. So I know I've seen all the leaks that are suggesting it's going to be a Cabal-based Destiny, which, look, basically if they put my raid in it, I'm going to just shut up, I'll be happy. But if they don't put my raid in it, then I'll be a little bit disappointed. I'd like to see more of the darkness explored, as opposed to focusing on races. So we've got the speaker, we've got the tower, and we've got the darkness. But we don't actually know what the darkness is. We're told that it's some malevolent force, but we're not actually experiencing its direct influence, which arguably the Hive is.
Yeah.
But is it? I mean, the Hive is born of the fundament and all that sort of thing. So, yeah, I want Destiny to go dark, is basically what it comes down to. I want to see them really explore a darker side of the Guardians, everything. Like,
what do you think of the fan theories that we may actually be the bad guys as Guardians?
Yeah.
Do you think it's...
Well, I think there's a certain merit to it because everyone has an enemy.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter what you do.
Maybe we're the imperialists?
I wouldn't say that we're a malevolent evil, as in we're going out to look for a fight. We're being invaded. That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
You know, the Earth is being invaded, so we're going to defend ourselves. Come on, we're not the ones looking for a fight. But at the same time, the ones that are trying to flee the darkness and all the rest of it, they're looking for sanctuary, and we're battering them away, which is evil in itself. So, yeah, I can see exactly where they're coming from in that respect.
Okay. I have one last question. This is from Drew. He wants to know if you could win a fight with a kangaroo.
Don't laugh, woman. I'm sorry.
Have you been in one before?
No. Kangaroo. Okay, there's a lot of variables here. It's not a simple yes or no answer.
Okay.
Okay. If it's a juvenile kangaroo, hell yes. No problems at all. If it's a full-grown adult kangaroo, hell no. Basically.
Stay away.
Yeah. Kangaroos, have you seen any yet?
Not here. I've seen them before.
Okay.
But they're very muscular.
They're very muscular, and they have massive claws on them.
Yeah.
And their fighting technique is to actually rear up in their tail and then kick at you. And if they kick at you and the claw hits, they can gouge you, and they can cut quite deep. So you see the idiots boxing and all that sort of thing. That's not a Roo fighting. A Roo actually properly fighting is kicking and gouging. And they're quite... Yeah. Every animal in Australia is trying to kill you. Come on. Really is what it comes down to.
Okay. Do you have any questions for our side? For me or anything? Anything you'd like to add?
Not really. I didn't come prepared for that, actually.
Well,
no, that's all.
Anything
all
you're
good.
curious about?
No, I'm good. I'm really good at the moment.
All right.
I really came down for a bit of a holiday to get away from home and catch up with people I've spoken to I've never actually met, so it has been fantastic.
All right, well, thanks for coming by.
Thank you.
This has been our first installment of Ask X, probably our only installment of Ask X.
No, I think now that I've been revealed, I may actually be a little bit more forthcoming.
You're going to come to the States for a holiday sometime?
Yes, it is on the cards. Not with you. Because... definitely looking at coming to the States. That's a given for me.
Well, planes fly over walls, so you should be okay. All right. Well, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This has been our episode of Ask X for LittleBigKast. Thank you.
See ya.
X, thank you first of all for meeting up with Glenn and running through that.
Yep.
It was it was fun, man. It was great to watch, and it was great to get to know you a little bit better. And yeah, you know, one of the things X says in there is that he asked, you know, what was your greatest, what's been your best like gaming experience, and X said like just jamming with our group and running raids with our group. And I've got to say, like for me, I feel the same way. Like what made Destiny special,
Yeah.
and what, you know, ultimately led to putting, you know, 1,400-ish hours into this game is the community that we built around it. And and that's what's really cool. Like our community is obviously smaller than a lot of what's on Twitch, but like we have a great community. And so thanks, X. Appreciate you doing that. And to everybody else, again, if you ever want to jam, look me up. PSN, Mr. Hawks. I desperately, so I found out, I realized what I want my PlayStation ID name to be if I could change it.
Oh.
And it would be my Wu-Tang Clan generator name.
What was that?
The Fearless Swami.
Okay. You know, I could see that. Did you see? No? Yeah?
Yeah.
Fearless Swami?
Fearless Swami. That's where Childish Gambino got his rapping name.
Right? Oh, you got
Donald
it
Glover.
from... Oh,
Wu-Tang
that's
Clan name generator.
Oh, that's funny. I have to look that
So
up.
that's...
Although I'm kind of partial to Big Wonka still.
I
You
might
go Big
jump in
Wonka.
and just save Fearless Swami.
Yeah, why
and,
not,
And
right?
dump Mr. Hawks.
Yep.
Just start over.
Just start over. Could you? Well, eventually, I think they'll give us a chance. Maybe.
Maybe,
They might.
who
Never.
You might, but if you hold
I
on
don't-
to it,
You know what?
Doesn't
Let's
Fearless
take
Swami
bets.
sound cool?
Let's
That'd
I
be
do
cool.
like it.
bets.
I do like it a lot.
Way better than Marox. Because nobody can read Mr. Hawks, even though the R is little and the H is big.
It's plain as
I
day.
don't know why it's so
I get
freaking
it.
difficult.
I get it.
Anyway, with me as always, our own Dr. Robin Hazlett.
You can find me by Googling my name. It's
There you go, everywhere.
easy.
You can find me anywhere.
You can find me anywhere.
If you're looking for me, you're looking for Night 20, KNITE20, on the Twitters, on the chats, on the PSNs. But yes, I'm. That's how you can contact me if I'm around.
$20 to anyone who actually figures out the real story.
Yeah, we're still trying to figure that
In
out.
fact, that should be a section
Yeah.
where people just tell their own story of the
like-
birth of Night 20.
I like that idea. Okay.
Like, hey, phone in your answers for where Night 20
Where
comes
Night
from.
20 comes
we'll
from.
we'll throw it up at the end of every show until we get it right.
He has a fetish with medieval knights.
Medieval Knights. That's good. See, I think we could. Okay. that's
On
fine.
the 20th day
Of the 20th hour.
Of the 20th
We could go all
month.
day on this.
A night climbed. Yeah, I don't know.
I'd love to hear what our listeners, what our fans, our little big fans, what they think about the Night 20, like what their guesses are. I'd like to know.
I think it has something to do with a drug addiction and midgets, but I don't know.
Wait, it was probably the closest one so far. Yeah, that's good.
Again, big shout out to X for letting us meet up with him. Glenn, thank you for traveling to
Yeah.
Australia to
Wow.
interview him.
But that was the only reason that
the
he
only
went.
reason he went.
We're international.
But seriously, that was cool.
Yeah.
Thank you, X, for doing that. Thank you, Glenn, for going out there and interviewing him. We look forward to doing more pieces like this where we connect with you guys, the viewers. We'll have to set something up. Literally everyone in chat that's here today. You guys are what make this channel fun and cool and special, and we want to highlight you and your stories. Like, I feel like this podcast more than even being about games is about like the stories. Like, right, like our game life balance is kind of a balance of storytelling and like where we are in our lives relative to the games that we're playing. And so, thanks for being a part of that with us. As always, my name is Jeff. Thanks for joining us. And again, signing off is Robin Hazlett, Drew Tyler.
Thanks.
And we'll catch you next time. See ya.
Deuces,
Bye.
y'all.